The scariest guy in the UFC is from Chechnya, Khamzat Chimaev. Have you ever seen that guy? He's a monster. Watch how he storms at him. Wow, bro. I mean, this is crazy grappling ability. The most aggressive guy in the sport.
Joe Rogan didn't hold back after watching Khamzat Chimaev's training from last week ahead of his upcoming fight with Dricus du Plessis. As the clips rolled in, it wasn't just the effort or intensity that caught his eye. It was the overall energy. There was something sharp in the way Khamzat moved. Like every second of training had a purpose. Rogan's reaction kicked in almost instantly, and it was clear this wasn't just another fighter grinding for a big fight. This was different.
Nice. Fast. Good job. Keep going. Good. That one was good. Go. That boy, Sammy, go. There you go. Good. Keep going. Good. There you go. Good. Nice. Yeah. Good. There you go. That's it. Josh, go. Come on, Josh. Come on. Next, what's the next one? The next one.
Once the conversation turned to Khamzat's performance against Robert Whittaker, Rogan didn't hold back there either. The way Khamzat controlled that fight stuck with him. It wasn't just strength, it was the kind of pressure that made a former champion look helpless. What caught Rogan off guard even more was how Khamzat didn't need punches to cause damage. That moment where Whittaker's jaw took a hit from nothing but a forearm spoke louder than anything else. Rogan pointed out the prior injury, sure, but what Khamzat did with just positioning made it feel like that didn't even matter.
And Robert Whittaker, like seeing him breaking Robert Whittaker's jaw just by squeezing across his face. Apparently Robert Whittaker had a broken jaw when he was a child, and he had it work done, but it's always been vulnerable. Like his front teeth had been pushed in before. In the Dricus du Plessis fight, he had a problem with it as well, apparently. But this was different because this was like Chimaev got the blade of his forearm across the jaw, and it was like just crushing those teeth, and it goes into his mouth. You saw the photo?
Yeah.
What it looks like?
Yeah, man.
What also stood out to Rogan was how Khamzat looked so much better at 185 pounds. At 170, he said, Khamzat was killing himself to make weight, but at 185, he's full of energy, huge for the division, and just looks unstoppable. He's got dangerous striking, world-class grappling, and a level of intensity that's unmatched in the UFC right now.
I mean, Chimaev was smothering him. Whittaker looked exhausted.
It was like, very early in the fight, too.
Yep, first round. I mean, it's just the amount of technique that Khamzat has and the intensity of his attack is unlike anybody else. He's so talented. He's so good at grappling, and his stand-up is dangerous too. And I think he's way better at 185. I really do. I think at 170 he was killing himself to make that weight, and now you see him at 185. I think he has more energy. And he's more than big enough for those guys. He's huge. He's a big guy. He's good, man. He's really good. But Ilia Topuria, that was the most shocking.
It says that Robert only landed 2 strikes.
Wow, that's crazy. In on him and just started beating the out of him. I mean, it was so relentless and overwhelming. And when Robert got up once, Khamzat dove on him again and had him down again in a second. So it's demoralizing.
Yeah. Reminded me of Khabib as well, where like you get up, you get straight back down, and then you just run out of energy, right?
Maybe even more intense, because maybe even more dominant. You know, like to do that to Whittaker like that, a guy who's a world champion. Like even the Conor fight, it took a while before he overwhelmed him, you know. It took a while before he was just beating Conor's ass. Like the beginning of the fight is more competitive. Like this was just a overwhelming victory. He
brought up the Gilbert Burns fight too. That one wasn't as smooth. Khamzat had to deal with resistance there. Real resistance. Burns landed clean shots and kept it competitive. But what stood out to Rogan was how Khamzat responded. He didn't fade. He pushed back harder, adjusted mid-fight, and still found ways to gain control. It wasn't perfect, but it showed something Rogan always values: durability and the ability to keep your head in the storm.
Gilbert Burns fight, he won, but he was close.
It was very close. I think it's at 170. I don't think he's the same guy at 170.
Okay.
I also think Gilbert is tough as fuck. And at that point in time, Gilbert he challenged Usman for the title and lost, but then came back and was one of the best 170 pounders in the world. It was a big step up in competition that I don't think Khamzat had faced before. And Gilbert is a world champion in jiu-jitsu. He's a very, very, very good grappler. So there's a difference there. When you get Gilbert to the ground, it's not that simple. Like you're fighting off arm bars and triangles and guillotines, and he's back up to his feet. There was a lot of wild scrambles. It was just, Gilbert's a little older now, but back then he was really in his prime or close to it, and he's just that fucking good. That's why that fight was so close. It's just Gilbert, especially in that fight, he was that good. I mean, it was a war. He dropped Chimaev, he cracked him with the right hand, but Chimaev, even when he got dropped, he dove in and took him down. Like, he's fucking good, man.
Right now, it feels like Khamzat is on a different level than the rest of the division. His grappling, his strength, and his speed, everything is a step above. Rogan made it clear, Khamzat is a monster in the cage, and the UFC better take notice.
Good. What he did to Whitaker was just, nobody thought that was going to happen. That was crazy.
That was scary.
While Rogan focused on the bigger picture, the training footage itself told its own story. One moment that stood out was Khamzat's footwork drill. It was sharp, non-stop, and full of intention. He wasn't just bouncing around, he was cutting angles, pivoting fast, and staying light on his feet. It showed he's not just bringing pressure, he's getting there with precision.
Hands up, Josh. Right, go. There you go. Good. Good. Just like that. Excellent. Excellent. Very good. Very good. Very good.
Earlier in the session, Khamzat was seen putting in work on the stationary bike. It wasn't a light warm-up either. He was fully locked in, keeping a steady pace with intensity written all over his face. That kind of cardio work speaks to his goal, maintaining that relentless pressure without fading as the rounds go on.
Go. 1 minute. 120. Go. 1 minute. Down. Good. Good speed. Good speed. Good speed. Outstanding. Outstanding. Come on. Come on. Come on. You got it. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. 30 seconds. Touch 125. Come on. Touch 125. Yeah, that's it. Good. 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 Yes. Go. 120, 123. Go. Go to 4. Good. Go, 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 go. Yes. Yeah. Good. Go. 15 seconds. Good, good, good. Touch 130. 130. Go. Go. That's it. 10, 9, 8, yeah. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, time. Woo.
And then came a quick round of shadow boxing, but with dumbbells in hand. Each movement looked clean and controlled, forcing his shoulders to stay active the whole time. It's a small detail, but it shows he's working on that muscle endurance most fighters overlook. When it came to Michael Bisping, he didn't waste time hyping Khamzat Chimaev's record. He went straight into what really matters, whether Khamzat can keep that same dominance when things get gritty. Early in his breakdown, he points out that Khamzat's control and grappling are elite, but that's not where the real test lies.
Chimaev, ever since he signed with the UFC, we all know what he's capable of. The man is a finishing machine. He is an absolute monster, okay? He is undefeated. He's gone through most people like a hot knife through butter, okay? And we're talking world-class competition, people like Robert Whitaker. The way that he dismantled Li Jingliang was just phenomenal. He's got great boxing. The wrestling is probably some of the best in the UFC. In fact, probably the best in the UFC right now. Nobody shoots like Khamzat Chimaev from about a mile away, but it's so fast and so explosive. He level changes, then woof, He flies across the octagon, and all he's got to do is get a hold of you, and you...
What Bisping leans into is how the fight might shift if Dricus doesn't break in the first few exchanges. He doesn't rule out Khamzat's ability to take over early, but there's a cautious tone when he starts weighing what happens if that early pressure doesn't lead to a quick finish.
We're in a world of trouble. So, does he beat Dricus du Plessis? That's not what we're here to talk about. What we're going to talk about is it a disaster if Khamzat Chimaev becomes the champion of the world? Because that's the opinion of one legendary fighter, Dean Thomas. Dean Thomas was talking on a show or doing an interview, and he said it would be a disaster if Khamzat Chimaev won.
He later brings up Khamzat's intense training footage, especially the cardio sessions. It's not just for show. Bisping hints that this might be a direct response to doubts around his gas tank. It's as if he's preparing for a version of Dricus that won't go away easily.
Of course, Khamzat is a force of nature, and he does have some of the best wrestling in the UFC. The man is a finisher of the highest degree. But we know he does have cardio issues. If he gets past the first round, he could start to slow down. Now, there is footage of him on social media on an exercise bike or an elliptical machine, and he's absolutely killing it. He's got a bunch of people around him just cheering him on and all the rest of it. You're going, go on, Khamzat. Push it, son. Push it, son. And
then comes the real prediction window. Bisping doesn't name a winner flat out, but his body language says a lot. He highlights that Khamzat's past fights have shown some cracks in the later rounds. And if this turns into a longer battle, Dricus might be the one with the edge.
He has to. Against Gilbert Burns and against Kamaru Usman, in the first round, he slowed down. Now, Dricus is a big dude. He's not going to be easy to take down. Dricus is going to play him at his own game, and that's exactly what he's got to do. You can't run away from Khamzat Chimaev, okay? The man's going to get you. He's going to get a hold of you, and he's going to try and take you down, and he's probably going to be successful.
By the end, Bisping circles 1 point. This fight isn't about whether Khamzat can dominate early. It's about whether he can survive and stay sharp once the momentum shifts. He doesn't sound fully convinced either way, but he's clearly watching to see if Khamzat has truly leveled up for a full-length war.
So what do? Now, what you're going to do is you're going to meet him head on. You're going to fight him at his own game, and that's exactly what Dricus du Plessis said that he's going to do. He will get a hold of it, and he probably will take you down. So meet him head on. Make him work for it. The best form of defense is attack. Put Khamzat...
Chael Sonnen has been watching all this too, and his take on this fight isn't just hype, it's layered. He's sensing something different in the air as Khamzat prepares for Dricus. Chael made it clear he sees Khamzat walking Dricus down and taking over, but he didn't just leave it at that. He brought up how Khamzat was already ready to be champion back when guys like Usman were in their prime. So now, with Dricus standing in his way, Sonnen believes it's just another step in what should have already happened years ago.
As this fight with Dricus comes, guys, everything is changing, and I feel it. I feel it in my heart. Chimaev's going to kill him. Chimaev's going to walk this boy down. This is the one for the world championship? Are you kidding me? Chimaev was ready to be world champion back when it was Kamaru Usman, who in many people's minds, Kamaru Usman at that time had a better resume than George St. Pierre. Like, you're not right if you make that argument, but you could make it and not lose credibility. That's how good Kamaru was. Chimaev was going to beat him.
Sonnen's analysis is riddled with concerns about Khamzat, but the biggest one, cardio. He said it's the one thing people point at when they try to break Khamzat down. Not his power, not his wrestling, just whether or not he can keep the same pace when things go long. And that's where Dricus becomes a real threat, because if there's one thing Dricus has, it's lungs for days.
Not know that Dricus was this good, right? I mean, we got this skinny guy from New Zealand, and got this former training partner from Nevada, and I mean, right when you think you got everything figured out, and all of a sudden, Dricus steps forward. And in the process of Dricus stepping forward, we have to look at Chimaev and we have to find what his possible holes are, which we have decided that he must get a takedown and his conditioning needs to hold up. And Dricus is a massive, massive cardio machine himself. The problem, if you go watch Chimaev, is that's not what we've seen. He isn't barely surviving through third rounds. Right? He's not getting through the first two, doing the math, I got this locked up, and then he's backing off in the third round. Even if he looks fatigued, he's going one way, which is forward. He's doing one thing, which is throwing offense. Sometimes wrestling, sometimes hand, feet, and some wrestling.
Now, here's where it gets interesting. Sonnen pointed out that Khamzat didn't ignore the noise. He actually made changes. He left the comfort of his old camp and moved to a place known for pushing conditioning above all else. That kind of switch, according to Chael, doesn't happen unless a fighter is fully aware of what needs fixing. So the question Chael leaves hanging in the air is this: if Khamzat really had a cardio problem, and if he's now addressing it with one of the best coaches in the world, is that weakness still even relevant? And if it's not, then what does Dricus actually have to exploit? Sonnen isn't saying Khamzat is invincible. In fact, he's doing the opposite. He's laying out where things could go wrong, whether the change in training camp is enough, whether the team around him is still intact, whether Dricus, quiet as ever, is already preparing to drag this into deep water. These are the questions Chael's sitting with, and right now there aren't any easy answers. Arman Tsarukyan, who's also been training with Khamzat Chimaev lately, gave a glimpse into just how intense those sessions can get. He didn't get into every little detail, but made one thing very clear. Training with Khamzat is a whole different beast, even with a noticeable weight difference between them. Arman says Khamzat brings the same pressure every time. There's no holding back, no adjusting pace. It's full speed, full strength every round. That kind of intensity pushes you to either level up or get steamrolled. For Arman, that pressure has turned into confidence. Knowing he can survive rounds with someone like Khamzat, that says a lot. He hinted that training like this sharpens everything, not just your wrestling or cardio, but your mindset too. And with fight night getting closer, that kind of experience might make all the difference.
How is it training with Khamzat? I mean, obviously there's so many stories about what that guy's capable of in the gym going back for about 10 years. What is it like for you to get in there and roll with him?
I mean, Khamzat, he's a tough guy, and he doesn't care if you're lighter than him, more than 25 pounds. He just go hard with everybody, and it's good. It's good for me, you know. I get a lot of like experience, and I feel like if I can wrestle with him, I can wrestle with anybody, you know.
I would think so, man. And he's probably weighing what when he comes in? You said 25 pounds. Is that about how much he weighs more than you when you guys go?
He's like 205, something like that.
With both fighters sharpening their tools and the MMA world buzzing with predictions, this showdown between Khamzat Chimaev and Dricus du Plessis is shaping up to be more than just a title fight. It's a collision of hunger, evolution, and pure willpower. From Rogan's reactions to Sonnen's insight and every grueling minute of Khamzat's revamped training, one thing is clear: this isn't the same Chimaev we saw last time. But will that be enough to break through Dricus' wall of pressure and pace? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Who's got the edge? Khamzat with his renewed focus, or Dricus with his relentless gas tank?